Antonee Robinson is now a fitness concern. Has not played in his last 3 games. Didn't even make the 18 for Fulham in their last one. And this is what his coach Marco Silva said on his absence versus Sunderland. He felt something. His ankle, the ankle throughout the week. He wasn't feeling 100%. Doesn't look serious. He rested 1 session. He tried yesterday, but wasn't in conditions to travel. So, Chuck, this is a concern.
Yeah,
I know we played most of 2025 without him, but yeah. I also want to add one more piece of context. It's not just his ankle. There were reports. I'm going to put air quotes. Reports that prior to the ankle injury, he had a contusion above in his thigh. Right, he just got hit in the thigh or whatever, a dead leg, and that was right above where he had his knee injury. And so there was a little bit of concern that was slowing him down a little bit, and that's where the initial injury was. And then he got this ankle one. So there's a couple combinations of things happening here. These don't seem serious, all things considered.
No.
But it still makes you think we're probably not going to have 1 or 2 players that we expect to have when the World Cup starts on June 11th. And that's not isolated to us. That's every country in this competition.
Yeah. For me, it's just important that Antonee Robinson's available come March. That for me is a difference maker, a game changer, because he hasn't really had the reps under Pochettino yet. Max Arfson, remember, has really received the time and the confidence from Pochettino, which has allowed him to grow in that position. But if there's ever one player that I don't need to worry about, it's Antonee Robinson. And so in terms of if he's injured short-term versus long-term, this is a guy that I know if he's fit and healthy, I don't have to worry about his commitment. I don't have to worry about his position or his understanding within the game. That's a guarantee. He's that much better than the next guy in line and offers a lot. So yes, it's a little bit disappointing to hear about Antonee Robinson's struggle right now with injuries this season, but this is minor. This is an ankle, maybe it's a little bit of a muscular issue. He's all in when he plays. You can see that. There's no holding back. So give him some time. Let him recover. And then he'll be fine for us come March. Because for me, I think that's super important that Pochettino has a healthy Antonee Robinson and a healthy Weah and a healthy Dest to figure out how he's going to play against Belgium and Portugal. Remember, if we have all of these guys healthy, it's the first time that Pochettino is actually going to say, man, I have to figure out if I'm going to go with either A, Weah, or B, Dest. And if I decide on the right side, yeah. and if I decide it's one or the other, do I still find a way to input one of those guys in the starting 11? By the way, McKennie is not a guarantee that he's at that number 10 position alongside Christian Pulisic. Maybe it's Tillman and McKennie's back down next to Adams and has a little bit more of a free role, and Adams stays in front of the back 3, back 4. So it'll be interesting to see what that means, but we need to have Antonee Robinson on the pitch.
Yeah, we do. I think he just provides a different type of threat than trying to shoehorn Weah or Dest or McKennie out that left wing back spot, excuse me. But we have to talk about Max Arfson, Big Tones, because he got a lot of trust. He's clearly trusted by Mauricio Pochettino. He had a great performance in the last one that we can, evaluate him on against Uruguay. And he seems to thrive in the left wing back role as opposed to just being an out and out left back in a back 4.
Yeah, if we go, I think we've come to the consensus that, as you mentioned, if we go with a wing back, I think we trust Max Arfson, right? I think if we go in 4 in the back, that's a whole different role for him, and it's one that he doesn't seem 100% comfortable with, or at least hasn't shown at the national team level that he's 100% comfortable with. But as Czech mentions, yeah, I think he's going to be in the squad for sure. I think we've all kind of had him in our 26 picks, and I think he'll continue to be in there. Push comes to shove, though, on match day 1 of the World Cup, does he move somebody over there if Antonee Robinson is not available? I think that's the question moving forward, Jimmy.
Yeah, and so let's talk about that question, because if you're going to bring someone to the team, and he's proven that he can hold his own He's done it against some good competition, Chuck. Without Jedi involved, it becomes, do I trust him in the biggest moments? Or am I going to, again, put somebody maybe not in their best position to try to figure that out? And we see around the world, let's use Manchester United as an example. Amorim comes in, tries to put guys in maybe spots that they're not most comfortable with. He goes away. Carrick comes in, puts guys in their best spots, and then they start to play a little bit better. There's a concern, despite the talent, if you're not playing in your best position, sometimes you're not going to maximize your potential. You can do the job, but maybe the job could be done better by someone who fits that spot a little bit better. I try to think of a better word I could.
But like, if you're taking in, let's just say the Uruguay game, right? They win 5-1. It's memorable. It's one of those performances that guys who got the opportunity showed they produced, they want to be there. But John Tolkien started in that game, not Max Arfson. So, you're thinking, hey, did John Tolkien do enough to impress Mauricio Pochettino and his staff in that game? Because anybody who played in that match started, I think that coaching staff is going, hey, Scally started that game. Miles Robinson started that game. Is this something that the Paraguay and the Uruguay matches in particular, those two friendlies, the U.S. got the result, but there was some really good moments of play. And so you're saying, okay, with these guys who got opportunities, does that necessarily trump someone like an Antonee Robinson who's playing every match and in the Premier League and showing well, and what he gets from him? He's a leader, but maybe he comes in and he's not 100%. Do you play a player like that who you've trusted in these friendlies over someone who is maybe at 80%, but you kind of know what they are when they're 100%? Is that enough? That 20%. So that's what I'm getting at. Do you think Max Arfson is better in that position, given that Mauricio and his staff have trusted him, versus a player like Timothy Weah, who has played left wing back, has played left back for a full season at Lille, for instance, before he moved to Juve, but he's been used all over the pitch. He's been played at left wing back. He's played at right wing back. He's been playing higher up the pitch for the U.S. men's national team. Who would you feel more comfortable in a big time moment?
Yeah, I think that Tim Weah, especially with World Cup experience, would have that level of savvy, Big Tones, that I think could get back to being comfortable. I don't think the moment would overwhelm him, whereas I would probably think twice about that being a possibility for Max Arfson. Like, yes, he did well in 2025, Gold Cup opponents, friendlies, okay, but World Cup is going to be a different beast. So somebody having that experience already, being comfortable playing in big matches in that position, even if it's a little bit out of position, could be a good fit. And we've seen him have success. Like, if he has Christian Pulisic in front of him in that kind of, hybrid 10 role / winger role, we know that can work because we've seen it before. So yeah, I probably, after thinking this through and talking this out, so I'm glad we're doing it, Chuck and Tones, is that Tim Weah would probably be my number one choice if Jedi's not available.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's how I think Mauricio Pochettino will go. Especially think about its first game of the World Cup, right? There's everything around it, and your first game is going to be, at SoFi, at home. It's going to be tough, right? But you said something that struck a chord before, Jimmy. Is just, you bring a guy to the World Cup, like, you better be willing to play him for whatever position you brought him to the World Cup in, right? Or don't bring him to the World Cup, right?
Right.
Like, it's so, and I think Mauricio Pochettino has, if at a minimum, shown that he trusts guys. Like, he'll give guys opportunities, and he'll give them big opportunities. And we've had so many narratives with him and so many comments recently about team. It's not always the best player, but it's the best team type of mentality. He might think that Max Arfson's the guy to get the job done. I personally, as I said before, think as a wingback, yes. As a fullback in a 4, no. That's how I look at Max Arfson in his roles there.
Well said. By the way, Jim, I was already coming at you saying, "Oh, so now you have Timothy Weah starting in the World Cup."
No problem. I know. I put my flag in the ground. I know I put my flag in the ground and said that after Tim Weah scored at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid in the Champions League, I said I don't think he's going to start. That was my take. like that Dest would overcome him on the right side, and now it might be Freeman as a possibility as well. And there might not be any room for him in his best positions. I never took left wing back into consideration. And hey, listen, I'm open to being flexible and fluid in my opinions, and if that's what's best for the team, then I think that's what we got to do.
Oh, look at
I'll eat my words.
Coach speak on tones.
Hey,
crazy. What's best for the team?
What's best for the team, baby?
Think about the club,
for the team.
the history, best for the team, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, all right, here we go. There we go. Thomas says Jimmy has a lot of flags in the ground. Goddamn right I do, Thomas. And I'm okay with it. I'm going to stand right next to all these flags all the time. Okay,
hey, Thomas doesn't miss a thing. I'll tell you that right now. He does not. He knows.
That's Ivis's burner account. He just has the MySpace guy as his avatar.